Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today will be big box store plant shopping at Walmart out in Plano, Texas. This is the Walmart right off of I-75, right next to the Lowe's that I typically go shopping at as well. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely pushes this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. It helps grow this channel, as well as following me on Instagram at GrowFolds. If you haven't already, please follow me on Instagram at GrowFolds. That is the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me if you have any questions about the plant or anything that I am featuring on this channel. But I did want to say happy Valentine's Day to all the plant foldies. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. I hope you guys are all having a great Valentine's and spending it with the foldy community. You can see that we are about to go into this Plano Walmart to see if we have any plants. But before we get into the shopping, I did want to say that if you haven't already, please subscribe to the cultivation_corner plant podcast on YouTube. I am part of a plant podcast with Janae, Simone, and Steven of I Live Plants, as well as merch that we have.
Y'all see the shirts that we're rocking? I mean, isn't this fly? This is fly. See, this could be in your closet. You know what I'm saying? We are selling these limited edition Cultivation Corner sweatshirts right now.
Season 2?
That's right.
Season 2.
Season 2. Listen, if you want one, you better get up on it because, like I said, they're limited. So
send us a DM in the Cultivation Corner Instagram so we can go ahead and get that custom sizing.
That's right.
You could be like us.
That's right. You don't want FOMO on this one, you guys. You need this is what couture.
Cultivation Couture.
Cultivation Couture.
And it's always a great time whenever I am hanging out with Janae, Simone, and Steven of I Live Plants. Our season 2 premiere will be next Tuesday, February 18th at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you are subscribed to the Cultivation Corner YouTube channel. Do a search, find us. The episode that features PETA of PETA's Planters is already uploaded. I am asking all of the plant foldies to jump on the live chat as early as 7 p.m. So we have about 30 minutes before the actual premiere happens. You can actually jump on the live chats whenever I have them already scheduled if you want to go ahead and start chatting with the plant foldies. So maybe we can get some early live chats going on. So whenever I schedule a live video premiere, as soon as you see it up, you can always jump on a little bit early and start chatting with the plant foldies. But you can see right here, I am at Walmart looking at some of these plants. It is a late evening plant shopping, I guess, trip. And you can see right here, this is a blooming anthurium for $22. And I'm actually tempted to buy some blooming anthuriums. You know, with Valentine's Day, I would just think that a beautiful houseplant would be a great Valentine's gift versus just giving somebody cut flowers. It's still time. You still have time to go shopping for a Valentine's gift. I mean, it is all weekend, and I'm so thankful that I will be off this weekend, and I will be spending my time with not only Janae, Simone, and Steven of my I Live Plants, but also with the people that I love. And just as an announcement, so February 18th is a huge day for the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast. But plant foldies, did you know that my grandmother's 90th birthday is on February 19th, that Wednesday? I am hoping to drive down from Dallas as soon as I get off work to go surprise her on her 90th birthday. So hopefully you guys can wish her a 90th birthday on Wednesday next week. I'm so thankful to have my grandmother, and she is my Valentine's. I will actually be bringing her a plant as a Valentine's gift. And you can see as you I pull up all of these blooming anthuriums. These are beautiful anthuriums. Nobody really buys these anthuriums. I think a lot of people don't even really think of these plants as anthuriums. Whenever you think of anthuriums, you think of the Dock Block Michelle anthurium or all of those velvety textured hybrids of anthuriums. But you know what? Anthuriums, the blooming ones, are just as beautiful. And with spring coming around, you know that it's springtime when you start seeing tulips and hyacinths making it into big box stores. And so if you want to give somebody a Valentine's gift, and part of today's episode is really going to be featuring featuring plants that make Valentine's gifts. I will be talking about some of the plants that would make great gifts, and that would be flowering plants, as well as even this Philodendron Paraíso Verde by Growers Bench. We talk about Growers Bench being another plant provider for big box stores that have really given us some rare and uncommon philodendrons. You can see this is a Philodendron hastatum, also known as a Philodendron silver sword. Beautiful metallic silver foliage. I love this plant. Unfortunately, my plant was left outside when we did get some freezing weather in Dallas, and so it flew all the way up to plant heaven, and I feel really bad for that, but that's the reason why I am trying not to acquire as many plants whenever I go plant shopping. You can see there are a bunch of fancy alocasias, and as much as I want to grow alocasias, they're just a little bit of a challenging plant, and the only way I will grow an alocasia is if I actually put them in semi-hydroponic substrate, specifically lechuza pon. And right now in the United States, at least on Amazon, you can't really find lechuza pon. I should have bought several bags of lechuza pon when it was available. Luckily, there will be some distributors of lechuza pon in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I will be buying that up for sure because I definitely need it. And then as far as these philodendrons though, they don't really need to be in semi-hydroponics. I think the plants that need to be in either lechuza pon or leca to make the plant care easier would be anthuriums, like the more velvety textured anthuriums. I would say alocasia, 150% you should put them in lechuza pon. And plants that you just don't have time to water. And so I've even put my most of my aglionemas in semi-hydroponics. But as you can see here, whenever you're going to Walmart, you're going to find a lot of value in the plants. Walmart is definitely a big box store that has some of the most inexpensive pricing. So as far as shopping, or whenever you're going shopping for even general goods, I would recommend Walmart because Walmart does have great deals, especially with the houseplants. I mean, you can see right over here, we've got some gorgeous anthuriums, and I am just obsessed with the blooms. Now, some people really don't like these anthuriums, but for me, you really get a good value for them. You get some color as well. And as far as the durability of anthuriums, I would highly recommend it. It is an easy to care for plant. I would say as far as these anthuriums, so you definitely want to give them a lot of bright indirect light to really get the best performance from them. And then you can see Costa Farms has been releasing a bunch of these philodendron white knights, although I feel like this is a philodendron white wizard. Beautiful white variegation for $19.84. And speaking of Costa Farms, next week is huge for me because you have to think I will be premiering alongside with Janae Simone Stephen of I Live Plants, our season 2 premiere for Cultivation Corner Plant podcast show. We will be hosting an in-person live viewing party at PETA's Planters Shop in Dallas, Texas at 6:30 p.m. Next week on Tuesday. So that's super exciting. I really hope you guys will join us. And then if you're not following PETA's Planters Instagram, jump on that as well, because right after the premiere, we are going to be doing some live selling on PETA's Planters Instagram for the first time. So that's Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I will be celebrating my grandmother's 90th birthday. I am so thankful. I am so thankful to God that she has been blessed with health. She's able to move around. She has good hearing. She is of sound mind and body. And she really does attribute that, number one, to the support of her family. Everybody loves Grandma Lola Belen. And then also number two, just her care in plants. And so for those that have discovered my shopping channel in terms of my plants, I would really recommend growing plants, because based on my grandmother, who literally will have 90 years of experience, 9 decades of plant experience, it does help with the wellness of your mind and body. And I can really see that having greenery around you really does enhance your lifestyle. It really does promote great wellness. And for me, yes, I do have a plant addiction. I've talked about that before. Somebody told me to shut up in one of my comment section, for instance, because I've talked about plant addiction. It is really real. And if you watch the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast, we do talk about how do you overcome addictions. And, plant addiction is for real. luckily I have been able to recognize it, and I've been able to go to these plant shops right here, like even at this Walmart. Even though these plants are gorgeous, I've been able to be able to not buy as many plants as I used to. But so my grandmother's birthday, to go back to that, is next Wednesday. Then I fly out early Friday morning to go to PlantCon 2025 in Orlando, Florida. I am so excited for it. So excited to be going to PlantCon again. This will be the third PlantCon I visited. I went to Houston PlantCon 2024, Dallas PlantCon 2024, and to start the year off with one of the biggest plant shows in the United States, I will be in the Mecca state of houseplants, and that would be Florida. I wish I would have been able to make it to the bus tours to Costa Farms, but I don't really land in Orlando until 10 o'clock. But I was able to book tours with Gabriella Plants and Equigenera for the 1:30 tour bus. So I will definitely film that. So Plant Foldies, you are going to get a lot of awesome content next week. Stick around with me. And as far as all of the promoting I've been doing, especially on my personal Instagram at Grow Folds, as well as Cultivation Corner, please share our reels. Please share all of the links to my videos, because I'm hoping that I can at least be able to take you alongside with me, show you these gorgeous plants, and just take you along for the ride. But as you can see at this particular Walmart, I just love showing you the Phalaenopsis orchids. Phalaenopsis orchids, in terms of the pricing at Walmart, is super inexpensive. This is another one that you can give as a Valentine's. Honestly, I would love to give a bunch of Phalaenopsis orchids to people, especially since it is Valentine's. And I did want to ask in the comment section, please leave in the comment section who your Valentine's is, what Valentine's gifts you've received, and what Valentine's means to you. For me, it is all about sharing, is caring, showing that you care, not only through just gifts, but just to show in everyday life that you love somebody. I really love my family. I love the Plant Foldy community. So thankful that I have y'all, literally have y'all every single day, tuning into the live premiere chats, engaging with me via comments, encouraging me, and really encouraging in each other. And I'm just glad that more and more people who love plants are finding our community. And so hopefully our community continues to grow, continues to thrive. And so I hope that you guys can leave some Valentine's comments in terms of what Valentine's means to you. But in terms of what we're looking at, though, it looks like Costa Farms does have the Colorama series. So these are a bunch of like exotic angel plants that are in a different type of planter, still a 3-inch one for $5.77. So this is the classic golden pothos, or the Epipremnum aureum golden pothos. You've gotta love the golden pothos. I love the golden pothos. It is an easy to care for plant, a plant that I believe everybody needs to add in their plant collection. Reason being, it is fairly fast growing. It's easy to care for. All you have to do is water when the soil is dry, give it bright indirect light, and it can tolerate a little bit lower light conditions. Now, as far as the plant I'm picking up here, look at how stunning this Croton gold dust is for $5.77. And even though it has that beautiful coloration, one thing I did realize about Crotons and just plants in general, anything that's high light required, any plant that needs a lot of light, it becomes more of a challenging plant. And that's because most of our spaces in our homes, or at least my home, while I have some amazing windows, I have a really good east facing wall of windows, we just don't get the amount of light that these high light plants require. Crotons grow rampant in Southeast Asian countries. My family is originally from the Philippines, proud Filipino American here. We love our beauty pageants. Miss Universe is a holiday for us Filipinos. Leave that in the comments if you agree. But when I actually went on vacation back home to the motherland, the Philippines, I remember seeing crotons literally as full-blown colorful trees, and it was just stunning. But as far as that, crotons as well, not only do they require a little bit more light than your average houseplant, it also requires a little bit more humidity, because you think about the natural environment that crotons are based at, they really need that. And it's funny because in the Caribbean, some people say that crotons are actually plants that are grown in grave sites. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody left a comment in my comment section and mentioned that. So it's just interesting how certain plants are utilized for certain purposes. For me, crotons are beautiful, but it's one of those situations And I really love the look of these Monstera deliciosas. And we have these large foliage plants. What I like about these large foliage plants is just that they are very cost effective. And here's the thing about this Walmart. While it's not super full yet, like the tables are not super full, they still have a lot of healthy looking plants. You can see we've got a Dracaena marginata, Colorama, and then we also have this Ficus lyrata here, or these fiddle fig leaf trees. Love that. And it's one of those plants, like I said again, you just have to have a lot of light for it to really do well. And then you can see right here, we've got tons of Epipremnum aureum, golden pothos galore. And this is another plant that, let's take a look at how much it costs. This one is in a 6-inch planter. These are by Garden Expert, which are basically plants that are sourced out from Costa Farms, $9.97. And we have a bunch of these hanging baskets right over here. And you can see the price is only $10.97. So you'll see that this is the most inexpensive golden pothos you can find in a 6-inch hanging basket. I know that Lowe's has them for $12.97. Walmart has them for $10.97. So comparing the plant pricing as you go shopping is one way that you can manage your finances. You can manage your the amount of money you spend on plants, because I know that quite a bit of us will spend a lot of money on plants. I mean, even here, any of these 6-inch planters are going to be only $9.97 if it is under the Garden Expert line. Again, these are all plants that are coming from Costa Farms. So these are Costa Farms plants. This is a beautiful Diphambachia. And then we also have a Dracaena lemon surprise here. Now this one right here, this Dracaena for $9.97. I will eventually buy one of these once I get the rest of my plants situated. But you can see that it's got some gorgeous neon colored leaves. Dracaena are super easy to take care of. They're very low maintenance. They're low light tolerant, drought tolerant, and just an easy plant to take care of. And you can see that there is another one of these Dracaena lemon surprise. I just love the neon borders of this particular plant, and only for $9.97. That's not a bad price at all, considering most of the 6-inch planters are typically like $15, but at Walmart they are definitely less than $10, which is a great deal. And you can see right here, this is another Dracaena. This one is the thicker type of Dracaena. This is called a Dracaena Dorado for $9.97. Again, this is a Walmart product, Garden Expert, and a lot of these plants actually at this specific Walmart are pretty healthy. And sometimes big box stores are not always created equal, in a sense that some of their plants might be not so healthy, but this Walmart has quite a bit of healthy looking plants. You can see right here, this is a Sansevieria Golden Flame, and this is one Sansevieria I at another big box store, like Lowe's or even Home Depot, it's going to be $16.98. This one is $15.97, so $1 less at Walmart. So you can buy more plants at Walmart, but as you can see right here, I prefer the 6-inch hanging baskets versus the 8-inch ones because they just take less surface space even when you're hanging them. And I mean, look at that beautiful neon pothos. Can I get a like, a thumbs up in the comments section about this plant? Because as far as I'm concerned, this is one of the most striking, easy to care for, common house plants that you can find, and they're inexpensive as well. And when you talk about just these different types of plants, like take a look at this one right here. This one is another type of Hoya, and you know, Hoyas are not as commonly found at big box stores, especially if you're looking for, you know, specific types of Hoyas. Now in, you know, local nurseries or plant shops, especially on Valentine's Day. And again, happy Valentine's Day to everybody, to the plant foldy community. You will find the heart-shaped Hoya caryi, the variegated form and the green form, especially on Valentine's Day. Although I would prefer somebody giving me an Aglaonema red Siam. This one is for $15.97. And I wouldn't mind getting this for Valentine's Day. Look at that pink planter. Love the fact that Costa Farms is really getting different colors of the planters. Now, I just really wish that their self-watering planters were just a matte finish, smooth surface versus having any texture. I would really think that it would give it more of a modern contemporary vibe. But as you can see right here, I love picking up Aglaonema red Siams because my intent is to honestly get everybody addicted to Aglaonema. You need an Aglaonema. You get an Aglaonema. Plant Foldy over there gets an Aglaonema. Please buy one. They're super easy. Like I said, again, drought tolerant, low light tolerant, and there's just so many different varieties. And then we're going to go ahead and pick this up. So this is a Polynesian ivy. And this one's for $19.84. I've been looking at one of these for a while, and I just find the foliage beautiful. It looks like it would be an easy to care for plant. It looks like a plant that would easily propagate in water. And those are a lot of the characteristics I look for when it comes to certain plants, especially ones that are easy to propagate, because I like to make free plants to give as gifts or just for my plant collection. And that just, I feel like it would just root very easily. So for those that have experience with the Polynesian ivy, let me know. But I have been toying around with it. Now, I've seen some that are on sale for like 50% off in the clearance section at Lowe's, but I'm always a little weary now. And I know this may not be a popular opinion, but I am just weary about doing rescue plants that are on 50% off, because I really think that a lot of them are just going to take more energy and time to rehab the plant, and there's just a bigger potential of getting a plant pest, which could really destroy a plant collection. You know, as far as plant pests, I feel like that is the biggest plight when it comes to caring for plants. It could really just take out an entire collection, and you don't want to do that because you were trying to save just a little bit of money. ZZ Raven plant, another beautiful plant as well. That is one that I would definitely continue to add to my collection. It would be another plant I could have multiples of alongside with Aglaonema, and this is just the green form of a ZZ plant. So like I said, again, plant foldies, this was just a really quick trip to Walmart, and then I'm going to show you how to get cheap Valentine's presents for yourself, how to get $2.98 orchids. You'll have to tune into the rest of the video because I'm going to visit another location after Walmart, and I need to get another Epipremnum aureum global green pothos. This is another Japanese pothos. This one is for $19.84 by Costa Farms. It's a trending tropicals plant. Love that green on green variegation, and with this particular plant, in order to get that green on green variegation, you've really got to give it a lot of light. With Epipremnum aureum, light is a very critical factor in terms of enhancing and giving you the best light. And speaking of this is another plant find. This is a Yesenia pothos, and so this is another one of those pothos that are uncommon. I've seen some of them pop up at other Lowe's, but not at Walmart, so I'm going to definitely buy this. And this is for $19.84. And hear me out. I already have a Yesenia pothos, but the biggest mistake I did with my Yesenia pothos is I did not put it under a grow light, and it didn't get the best lighting. The problem with Yesenia pothos is, in order to get that like minty ghosty look about it, is you have to give it light. If you don't, it will quickly revert into a jade pothos, like a green pothos. But I really love this pothos plant. You know, the variegation for a Yesenia pothos is not stable, but if you're able to give it a lot of light, it's just such a striking and gorgeous plant. And so that one is the one I'm probably going to pick up. Let's take a look at some of these other ones right here. This is the Stripes Forever Photonia. It's another interesting Photonia because you can see that there is a little bit more striping on it, and it just looks a little bit more there just is more margins and lining on the plant, maybe more white veins. Beautiful plant, but like I said, with Photonias, which is also known as a nerve plant, it just requires a little bit too much water for me to really keep up with the watering requirements. And I need plants that can withstand droughts, because I just pretty much keep my plants in drought. Just to be honest, I don't really water my plants because I end up being so busy, and that should not be an excuse. I know that should not be an excuse, plant foldies. Like, if I am not able to water my plants, I might as well not collect them. But I did find ways to mitigate that by just putting them in semi-hydro. And you can see right here, that is the second hanging basket of Yesenia pothos. I will be buying the Yesenia pothos. That is considered an impulse buy. I am not going to regret it, because I know that I'm going to be able to propagate more of the Yesenia pothos. And I've been pretty good about not buying nearly as many plants as I do my big box store videos. You'll have to give me a little bit credit. Somebody has to give me a little bit of grace on that. Yeah, I know I have a plant addiction, and yes, I know that I probably should not be spending money on any more plants, considering next week I will be going to PlantCon, although all of my spending has already happened because I pre-ordered a lot of the plants that I wanted to pick up at PlantCon. So there's only so much room that I have to be able to fly these plants out, and that's going to be another interesting type of content, is me actually getting on a plane and taking live plants back to North Dallas. So we'll see what that looks like, but I'm going to go ahead and pick up a couple more of these plants right here. Again, plant foldies, if you made it this far into the video, please make sure you press the thumbs up or like button. Let me know in the comment section what plants you have liked so far that I've featured at this shopping video. You can see we've got some Syndapsis Silver Ann right over here. This one is for $19.84 in an 8-inch hanging basket. That's actually a pretty good deal, considering you don't always find Syndapsis that full and lush in a hanging basket. So I have to give credit to Costa Farms. Costa Farms is amazing, and I cannot wait to go to the Costa Farms booth at PlantCon in Orlando next week. Here we're looking at another favorite of mine. This is an Aglaonema lochai, and honestly, this is probably one of my favorite Costa Farms Aglaonema releases. There's 2 of these Aglaonema lochais here, and these are for $19.84 in a self-watering planter. It's another trending tropicals plant by Costa Farms, and I really hope that this year Costa Farms will release even more Aglaonema. As I've said in many of my videos and throughout the video, everybody really needs to try to grow Aglaonema. The thing about Aglaonema is they have very colorful leaves, right? And they have beautiful stems. This one has a white stem right here. But the only thing I would say about Aglaonema that will really make things a little bit more challenging is if you are somebody that likes to water plants, like overwater them. Aglaonema do not like to have wet feet. So as far as like making sure they are not overwatered, just wait till the soil is completely dry. Also, the thing that also impacts Aglaonema in terms of just diseases is sometimes Aglaonema will get melty leaves, so that's like fungus. So you just have to make sure that if you see any of those signs, that you go ahead and get rid of that leaf so it doesn't spread on the leaves. But other than that, Aglaonema are super easy. I'm almost tempted to buy another Aglaonema lochai. I've already bought 2 trending tropical plants of Aglaonema lochai, so I have 4 total. One had like a green, predominantly green one. You can see in the video that my previous videos of me converting that into semi-hydroponics. But as I pan away over here, really happy with the selection of plants that they have here, most of the plants at Walmart right now are Costa Farms plants, but we do have some wild interiors and growers bench plants. Next location, we're going to go grocery store plant shopping at the Kroger grocery store out in the Colony, Texas. As always, please make sure you are hitting the like button or thumbs up button if you haven't already. I appreciate those that have stayed this far into the video, but as you can see right here, here is a secret to getting plants that are going to be reduced substantially at Kroger grocery store. If you notice, there were tons and tons of boxes, right? So you can see that those boxes are a sign of restocks. So all of these plants are going to have to find a space here. So we're going to see if there's some clearance or marked down plants. This particular location, which is right off of Highway 121, the tollway, right next to a Target and a Walmart. This Kroger marketplace is one that I love because it's a super full. I was able to find some really inexpensive plants the last time I visited here, but you'll notice that there are a bunch of these Phalaenopsis orchids. Again, Phalaenopsis orchids, any type of flowering plants like Kalanchoe, Gerbera daisy, those types of plants are going to be perfect Valentine's plants. And you can see right over here, we've got some beautiful pink Phalaenopsis orchids. As far as these orchids right here, there's going to be a surplus of Phalaenopsis orchids, especially during Valentine's Day, or at least the week heading into it. So you'll see that this particular Kroger is super packed with some beautiful Valentine's Day plants. I would say Phalaenopsis orchids, these pink ones right here look like to be dyed. It doesn't look like a natural pink, but you know what? I still love pink plants. I still love that orchid. And you can see that we have a bunch of these Phalaenopsis orchids here. I prefer orchids, but as far as orchids, it does take at least 6 months for them to rebloom again. So there is quite a bit of time that it takes for them to rebloom. But as far as the blooms, once an orchid blooms, it takes about a month or two for the blooms to be spent. So you still have quite a bit of time to enjoy the blooms. I would suggest buying orchids that are not in full bloom, but you can see right here. Here is my plant find. So about 2 weeks ago, I really wanted an Aglaonema red vein. These Aglaonema red veins were for $29.99. They are now reduced to $6. So I am going to definitely rescue these Aglaonema. And I know I mentioned about earlier in the videos that I may not rescue a bunch of these clearance plants. But when it comes to the Aglaonema red vein, and you can clearly see that these are actually not a bad price at all, and they are just gorgeous. Like, how do you not want to save these Aglaonema red vein? I'm pretty much going to buy every single one of them. They're going to go into LECA, and honestly, there's a bunch of plant foldies that want an Aglaonema red vein, so this one might be a goner. Or I don't want to spend $6 on one that I could get here, like this one right here. Beautiful Aglaonema red vein. I would definitely want to do a free plant giveaway. So on Instagram, I may do a plant giveaway to send an Aglaonema red vein to a subscriber, a plant foldy. So stay tuned for the details of that. But I am definitely going to get these Aglaonema red vein because $6 from $29.99, that is an amazing price. And we're going to get to more of the plants right over here, but you can see that there is going to be a full counter of plants that have been reduced. So what I've heard is that this, like some grocery stores will reduce the plant pricing, especially if they have to make room for more patient that I will frequent, because you can see right over here, I'm still looking for those Phalaenopsis orchids. All of these orchids, right? They've got tons and tons of orchids. You can see that there is another shipment of orchids. So I'm trying to figure out where are they going to make space for these orchids. Obviously, they can make more displays, but just knowing what I've learned about grocery stores is that they really do reduce their plant prices whenever they have to make space. You can see that there are lots of people shopping here, and I'm just really happy about the red vein. Leave in the comments if you thought that that was a great idea for me to get all of these aglaonemas, or should I have waited? I think that there was really no waiting for this. There's definitely a great bargain for these aglaonema. And then as I spin around here, I am going to show you some of the plants that they have full price. What I also like about grocery store shopping for plants is that they have very healthy looking plants. You can see right here, this is a gorgeous Ficus elastica taniki, and this was by Mason Farms for $19.99 in a 6-inch planter. So I would say some of the plants also may not always be cost effective. You really have to just pick and choose. I would say the Mason Farm 6-inch ones are a little bit pricey because you can get them for less than $12 at a big box store, but you can see right here actually $2.80. $2.80. Take a look at these Phalaenopsis orchids. So I'm gonna go ahead and pilfer through a lot of these Phalaenopsis orchids because it looks like they have a lot. But for Phalaenopsis orchids that were originally $14.99, reduced down to full very quickly, and you can see right here, look at this. $6 for this right here, this Phalaenopsis orchid that was originally close to $30. I mean, plant foldies, you already know that you are literally getting the price here, and I would assume at least 90% of y'all would pick up these Phalaenopsis orchids for these prices, especially since there's nothing wrong with them. You know, oftentimes we'll go get a bargain at Lowe's, for instance, at big box store for 50% off. It's because the plants have already declined in health. There is no declining in health here. These are literally healthy looking orchids. This one's not even fully bloomed yet, which makes it even a better candidate. $2.80. Yeah, these are going to be going home with me, and I am just really happy that I was able to splurge on these plants. I know that some people are like, well, why would you buy a plant that you're not really planning on? I'm thinking of it in a way that I want to gift these plants. Like this one is definitely going to go home with me for $2.80. These plants are on sale. This is a big blowout sale for me, at least it is. And for Valentine's, I just feel like Phalaenopsis orchids is great. Hopefully you guys agree with me as well. But as you can see right here, my cart is getting full very quickly. I had an inkling feeling that I would find reduced plants at this location, so I went ahead and got a cart. I'm always looking back to see if somebody picked some of my plants from my cart, because some people might think that it's like a clearance cart, but it is definitely not. It is my cart, and I'm just really happy that I was able to get some really inexpensive orchids. I'm almost assuming that, you know, these are even less than the market price. I'm not 100% sure because obviously I'm not a buyer for this particular one. Is for the ones that are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I would definitely go to the Colony Marketplace in the Kroger one right over there. That one is right off of Tollway Highway 121. It's right across from a Target, and as well as a Walmart right across the street as well. So 2 big box stores plus a Kroger grocery store. You already know that means that you'll find some great plant finds. Now I'm just going to keep picking up some of these plants right here. So these are also inexpensive pothos plants. That one is a neon pothos. You can see they've got golden pothos. And so I'm just going to walk around and show you all of the other plants that they have available here. These are not a bad price at all. And look at how healthy these pothos plants are. And that is, again, something I want to reiterate is whenever you are going to go shopping at a grocery store like Kroger, especially for houseplants, you will find very healthy looking houseplants. Now, the majority of plants that you'll find at Kroger are going to be mainly sourced from Mason Farms, which is basically a nursery out in New Mexico. And you can see even this one right here. Look at the gorgeous variegation on this Ficus elastica taniki. I love how it has that red vein and even just the cream white variegation on this plant. It really looks like a plant that was painted with watercolors. Beautiful plant. It's a plant that does require quite a bit of light, so please make sure if you're going to grow anything that is ficus, that you give it a lot of light. And then this one right over here you can see is a Ficus elastica ruby, smaller variety right now because it hasn't grown into any type of maturity yet, but it is a beautiful plant. And again, I don't know, I love just taking all of you guys with me whenever I am going shopping. And just as a reminder again, I am super excited about next week because on February 18th at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard USA time, we will be premiering the Cultivation Corner Season 2 Episode 1. That is a season opener for the plant podcast that I'm part of. Hopefully everybody that is watching my videos will tune videos to subscribe to that channel. Make sure you are supporting my efforts to really push that plant podcast out. I know there's a lot of plant podcasts that are starting to really show up. But what I can say that is different about the plant podcast, the Cultivation Corner, is there are 3 hosts versus just maybe one host, and there's just a lot of different segments that we have. And season 2 is really going to have a lot of interesting topics, but also many different guests with some really good stories. So definitely check that out, and definitely go to this Kroger grocery store. So anybody that is a local plant foldie, somebody that lives out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, please check out this colony. Leave in the comment section if you end up making it to this location. Again, this is the one right off of Highway 121 in the Colony, Texas. This is the Kroger Marketplace, because you'll find a bunch of these plants right here. Like this one right here is a zebra plant. I like the look of a zebra plant. This one is not a bad looking one. It does have some beautiful yellow blooms, but for some reason, I just never felt inclined to pick it up. You know, there are some plants that are very beautiful indeed, but for some reason, they just don't really interest me as much. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if plant foldies, you've ever been in that situation where you find some plants and they're not as interesting to you. I mean, they're interesting, but they're not as interesting to you to the point where you feel like you have to pick them up. You can see right here, this is a philodendron white measure, also known as a philodendron Birkin. Beautiful plant. This one has quite a bit of white streaks. I think that this particular philodendron, honestly, it might be some of the initial genetics of the plant that give it the variegation, but I also believe that the lighting you give it also impacts the amount of white it pushes out, because I have one that I bought from Home Depot. When I went shopping at Home Depot for plants, it ended up getting whiter leaves when I just grew it under a grow light, like intense grow light. So who knows? Let me know in the comment section if you have a philodendron Birkins, if you have some really good variegation because you've increased the lighting conditions. And then you can even see right here, just tons and tons of plants. So it's like plant overload for me, the fact that I was able to buy all of those orchids, those Phalaenopsis orchids for $2.80. That is a massive sale pricing galore at this location, and that just really tops off my Valentine's Day gifts for myself and maybe to others. Like I said again, you know, plants, whenever you think about Valentine's, you think about like cut flowers, fresh cut flowers, but we never think about giving somebody maybe a house plant. I think especially for the one that has somebody that they really care about, that loves plants, trust and believe me when I say that if you give a really cute Valentine's gift as far as like a house plant, somebody is really going to appreciate it. And, you know, as far as Valentine's, hopefully everybody is with their loved ones. Hopefully we celebrate this holiday, this special day with somebody that we really care about. Valentine's Day doesn't necessarily have to be a day where you only show your love for somebody that day. I think that we should always show love to each other each and every single day, every single second in the hour of, you know, just spreading that love. And I always ask people, you may not always agree with some of the video content that I create, nor do you maybe always agree with some of the ways I just present some of my videos, but I always ask people to show kindness. Kindness is free. Let's be positive on this channel. What sometimes happens to content creators creators is they get bullied. And for me, I'm just really thankful that I have a very strong plant foldy community. And so hopefully everybody is enjoying their Valentine's Day. I really wanted to make sure that I uploaded a video that was more seasonally relevant, that was Valentine's theme, because it is Valentine's Day. But as you can see right here, it is always fun to take you guys shopping with me. I mean, look at this. This is a beautiful Epipremnum aureum and Joy Pothos. That one is a really nice size. This one's for $19.99, but it's super full. And that's the thing. Sometimes if you find a plant that is really healthy, super full, you are, at least for me, I'm willing to pay the premium price for it, even though I know that I could probably find it at a more cheaper or inexpensive price somewhere else. But as you can see right here, if you love Hoyas, this place right here has Hoyas. This one, I believe, is a Hoya carnosa Crimson Queen. I love the white edges of the leaves, and Hoya plants, which are also known as wax plants, are readily available at grocery store like Kroger, which I find interesting because big box stores don't always have them. And then you can just see right here another Ficus elastica burgundy. Now for this dark foliage Ficus elastica, you want to make sure that you provide it with quite a bit of light to keep pushing the darker foliage. And I love dark foliage plants. I think that there is a certain elegance about them. Let me know in the comment section, again, Plant Foldies, what you think about dark foliage plants, or if you have a favorite color of plant. I love pink plants, neon plants, and dark foliage plants. They are my go-to, but I also love deep green plants. I think that those are absolutely stunning as well. I also love silver metallic plants, and this is a Palea plant. This one is the aluminum plant right here, and let's take a look at the price. The price is not a bad price at all. I will eventually splurge on this, but this plant requires a lot more watering that I am not necessarily willing to commit, nor do I really have the time. So if I do get this plant, I would have to convert it to semi-hydroponics. It would end up going into lechuza pond because the root system is a little bit more fine, and with finer roots, you really want to try to get lechuza pond versus leca. Leca has those expanded clay balls, and I just feel like plants do better if they're in the correct substrate. And then you can see right here even more plants. Look at this right here. This is another hanging basket of Epipremnum aureum pothos, golden pothos. If you don't have a golden pothos in your houseplant collection, highly recommend it. Please buy yourself a pothos plant. Please buy yourself an aglaonema. Those are my two go-to easy care plants at the moment. Those are plants that I hope I can influence you into buying because they're going to steer you in the right direction in terms of just how easy care they are. I mean, you can see right here, this one is already trailing. This one is super healthy. And that's the thing. You want to go shopping for plants that are healthy. If you find plants that may have signs of health decline, go with caution. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy an unhealthy looking plant at a grocery store or a big box store, but I do think that plants that are a little bit unhealthy are a little bit more susceptible to plant pests. And that is something that you really want to be vigilant about in terms of whether you want to add it to your plant collection or not, because once you get a plant infestation of pests, that is really challenging to get rid of once they take over your collection. I've seen full-blown plant collections get destroyed over mealybugs, spider mites, thrifts. It's pretty bad, and so I am pretty careful when it comes to just buying plants that are not necessarily the healthiest looking plant at a big box store or a grocery store. My routine in terms of like what I do when I bring plants home is they definitely get a little bit of systemic granules. If they're going to stay in a soil substrate, I spray the tops of the leaves, the bottoms of the leaves, the tops of the soils, the bottom of the drainage holes with neem oil spray to try to get rid of as many plant pests and even the eggs as possible. And I spray the plant frequently, at least 2 to 3 times a week until I feel confident that I can reduce the amount of spraying I do review on plants. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, what you think about that, and if you also are very vigilant when it comes to pest preventatives by spraying your plants often. And then you can see over here, these are polka dot plants. Like, I love the look of polka dot plants, but for some reason they just end up browning on me. Even though I do keep them moist, I don't know if it's overwatering or underwatering, but the plants, the polka dot plants, have beautiful colors. I love the pink. So again, it is very much Valentine's theme, but it just does not always work out for me. And it's really disappointing because I do love this plant. I wish I could grow this plant long term. But you can see this one right here is a red polka dot plant. I've been told that they do better as terrarium plants. Let me know in the comment section if you do agree. But a plant I would also recommend is a Peperomia obtusifolia variegata. They look at the leaves there. They're very waxy, so they are very much drought tolerant. They almost remind me of a succulent plant, but look at that variegation. And the more light you give this plant, the better variegation you're going to get. And it is another plant that I feel like is also overlooked in terms of a plant that's variegated. Whenever you think of like a variegated plant, most people will run and get it, but this one, people will just kind of walk by it and not pick it up. But I think it is such a beautiful plant. It is a plant that I think you should add into your plant collection if you don't have already. And of course, here is a Hoya carrii, and it's Valentine's Day. You can see that this one is not a bad price at all. Hoya carrii is just a green form. Look at the beautiful heart-shaped leaf. The thing is, I would recommend buying that versus buying the single heart Hoya carrii. And look at this. This is a Hoya compacta, or a Hindu rope. Beautiful plant. So if you're looking for some uncommon Hoyas, if you are a collector of Hoyas, go to Kroger grocery store. If you have it, they will always have some type of Hoya here. And you can also see that Kroger also has a Hydra Helix. I love the Hedera Helix right here. This is another English ivy, and you can see that this one has been growing at this location for a while because look at how it's already trailing. It looks super healthy. I'm surprised that these English ivy haven't gotten spider mites because I know that these have been here growing indoors for a while. Look at how gorgeous that green is. And people will ask me why I like English ivy. It's because of the leaf shape. They remind me of maple leaves, and I love any type of maple plants. I also collect maples, a lot of Japanese maples, a lot of trident maples, a lot of Shantung maples. And so, when spring comes around, I may end up making some content of Japanese maples. I try not to deviate too much though from indoor tropical plants or even plant shopping videos, because I know that that's really what the majority of the viewers are looking for. I've noticed that whenever I do other things like, how to convert plants to semi-hydroponics or other or even featuring local nurseries or plant shops, there's less views as compared to a big box store. And I will say it again, a big box store plant shopping video or a grocery store plant shopping video. I guess you guys just like shopping, or even in the titles of shopping. But plant foldies, as you can see right here, this is really inspiring me to pick up plants. Beautiful Syndapsis silver Ann right over here. This one is for $19.99. So I'm just going to keep walking around and picking up plants. I am not going to buy any plants at full price because I found a mega sale. All of these plants that are in my cart are definitely a great price. They are on sale, and I'm super happy that I was able to find it. I just got lucky walking into this grocery store. We say that this is a stunning, stunning peperomia. Look at how beautiful the leaves are. Look at how shiny the leaves are. Look at how healthy the leaves are. This one is for $19.99. And honestly, I would pay the price because what a healthy looking plant. What a beautiful green plant. It doesn't have any variegation, but this is a prime example of just admiring green plants. I mean, you can see here we do have the China dolls, and then we have some more plants over here. But as far as this shopping trip, as far as you going with me and shopping alongside with me, again, my tips to save money on plants whenever you're shopping is, number one, compare and contrast the prices of plants at different locations, whether it's a big box store, a local grocery store, or a local plant shop. Get to know what plants are in season. Sometimes seasonally relevant plants will reduce in prices. And, patience is a virtue. If like a grocery store will reduce plant pricing, I would just wait alongside and maybe even frequently look in those areas to see if they reduce, because I am just going to spend a little bit more time again showing you all of these Phalaenopsis orchids that are on a mega sale, huge savings for $2.80. $2.80 while you go shopping. That is some of the things that you need to buy, and I am just super excited. I mean, look at all of these Phalaenopsis orchids. I don't know if they're going to get sold through, but I just know that these are very much Valentine's theme or seasonally relevant. I am almost tempted to keep picking up plants right here, and this is one I would definitely buy at a later time, but that one is one that you would want to get, is Phalaenopsis orchids that do not have all of their blooms right then and there. But you can see that this Kroger has to make space for their plants, so they have to try to make space by putting some of their plants on a sale price. So I love it. For me as a consumer, I mean, finding plants that are on sale, and thinking about the people I want to give gifts to in terms of Valentine's gifts. And I was really happy that I waited for those Aglaonema red veins to finally go on sale. It's been a couple of weeks, and so I don't know. I feel like I'm winning today. I feel like I have really, hit the jackpot when it comes to plant pricing and the sales that I've found on this shopping trip. So hopefully everybody has enjoyed just shopping alongside with me, spending your Valentines with the Plant Foldy community. Again, I do want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's, and I'm going to go ahead and check out. As always, I hope that you guys enjoy the weekend heading over here. I know I am excited to be off this weekend. As always, please make sure you press the thumbs up or like button for this video. It helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel at Grow Folds with all the notification bell on. This is Richie. I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Valentine's.